Welcome all. So you guys are all AI users, right? Of some kind. Who isn't these days? Even 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 if you're not, it's built into everything now. So if you're using it in Canva, it was always in Google and all of this stuff. So this is actually a from the Google world, right? Um, and we will show you like soup to nuts here. So we'll show you like the sourcing and how it works. Has anybody seen this before yet today?
I don't think so.
Okay. Do you guys have a podcast or create content like that? Yeah, and so it is just super cool. So I think I got some stuff teed up here to share my screen and go. Have you guys tried Google Gemini as a
I love Gemini.
yeah,
Gemini finds things that ChatGPT doesn't.
it really does. Yeah, because it's hitting the real-time web, especially like if you don't have a paid version, right? So let's open this up. So this is what it looks like. I should maybe put that. I'll save that for the chat here. And so what it talks about, it calls itself your personalized AI research assistant. And of course, under the hood, right, is that LLM model. So we just click on try. Super easy. And we'll end up giving it a data source. Now, there's lots of um, things that you can give it, but for me, I am just repurposing blog post. So I did this one, I did that one. I think we need to do number 3, cancel culture. So this is one that I've put up other places. So while that other one is loading, I'm going to get text, right? So this could be whatever you have. You wrote an article. Oh, I did cancel culture. Give me a sec here. Let's find the power video. Let's do showing off your. So we do a lot of review stuff, right? Historically, tremendous way. You got to take advantage of this most powerful force. So we're gonna do a new notebook. See this kind of stack, like usually on the older ones, they kind of stack on the left. Your old chats, right? These sort of show in a big window form here. Most of them, these you can see, I just did one source, but you can stack sources. This one I did about myself. I stacked some sources. So what do you mean by sources, Greg? Well, it means that you could point this tool at a video or a website or a Google Doc, right? I my stuff is in Word, so I'm going to use pasted text. So you can see this is not a long article at all, right? So we'll punch that in. And it already absorbed it. And so you can kind of just move my little bar out of the way. You can ask it questions down here, right? Like you normally would. It even has suggestions. So if you guys ever use Perplexity, Perplexity is also an AI kind of research tool that um, has some suggestions. So this does function. Um, I think they're going after Perplexity, right? So it suggests questions. It gives you, it knows kind of where the source is. So, but what we like, that's the source. Let me go back in because I want to show you this other top piece here. Where did it go now?
Are you going
There
to
it
have the
is.
time to show us a finished product?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, watch this. So I'm gonna click this and it's gonna generate. So it's basically one click. You don't get in really any controls, but the output's pretty amazing. So I just want to show you some of the other things. I guess I should have pressed that first while this is working, like so you can got these questions. It is already has like these 5 things that it could turn your content into. So imagine if you had, say, more than just a short article, right? You could put multiple sources in here. I think what I'm going to do, so I had on that page is my use case is I had like 5 blog articles, right? That I used as a blog, that I used as a LinkedIn newsletter, right? So we're repurposing our content. We're being omni-channel, all of these foundational things to leverage our time, right? And so I doing these one off so that my podcast is about that topic, right? But I think I'm going to bring it in and see how it like puts these all together, right? Maybe in a study guide. So this is all like on topic things, and I imagine that you all do have something, right, that you could put in. Like, what do you think you would put in, Oz?
Oh, I have 4 hours worth of questions for you. I would
Yeah,
probably go in. I interview Dustin Stout of Magi every Monday at noon.
there you
I
go.
probably just drop that into YouTube and then put that in here and see what it can do.
Gotcha. That's interesting. Make a podcast out of a podcast.
Yeah, but I want to know if there's a way to take it and then create cartoon characters to do it that way. That would be killer.
Well, ooh, that's an interesting use case. So this one is actually it's a guy and a gal, and it's done. So that Word doc was just hundreds of characters, right? And it made a 4-minute audio file out of it in just a couple minutes.
Can we
So
listen to some of it?
absolutely. Let me press the button to share some sound here. Share sound. All right, here we go.
Ever like almost buy something online and then one bad review totally throws you off?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I was just looking at espresso machines the other day,
Oh, nice.
super fancy,
Yeah.
and one review mentioned overheating, and I was like, nope, not risking it.
It's crazy how much those little star ratings influence us, Ron.
Totally. It's like instant trust or distrust.
Yeah.
And for businesses,
Yeah.
those reviews, those ratings, they're huge.
Huge.
And today we're diving deep into why those 5-star reviews, they're not just like a nice ego boost. They're actually a powerful growth strategy.
Absolutely.
So in this deep dive, we're looking at like why online reputation is so critical for businesses today.
Yeah, this source really nailed it. It's not just about looking good online anymore. It's about like real revenue.
Exactly. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
People barely buy anything without.
So let's look at this source doc again. I didn't say any of that. I didn't say do an example about a product, right? We just talk about it's essential, it's imperative, people research. I think they'll probably mention this later. We'll listen to the rest. It's only a couple more minutes, right? Take advantage of your things. I mean, it made 4 minutes out of 331 words. So it's just amazingly creative, right?
Checking reviews first, right?
Oh, I know. I'm like that with everything.
Me too. Like everything.
Restaurants, clothes, you name it. I'm checking those reviews.
Exactly. And this source made a point that really resonated with me. If businesses aren't actively showcasing their good reviews, they could be missing out on a ton of potential customers.
Oh, absolutely. Because those reviews, they're like little votes of confidence.
Yes. Like, hey, other people have tried this and they loved it.
Right. And they're willing to vouch for it publicly.
And there's this stat in here that really blew my mind. It said a 0.5 increase in a business's average star rating.
Okay.
It can lead to a 6.5% increase in sales.
That's huge.
It's massive.
That half-star difference can totally be that little push someone needs.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because you see that, and you're like, okay, maybe this one's worth a shot.
It's like that extra bit of reassurance that tips the scales.
Exactly. And the
Like that was one sentence in my thing, and they made that into like a fantastic point, right?
source even called it the cost of inaction.
Oh, which I love, by the way.
Because it is. If you're not actively managing and showcasing those reviews,
You're missing out on potential customers and sales.
big time.
It's like you wouldn't win a trophy and then just like
Yeah.
shove it in a drawer, right?
Show it off.
Exactly.
Yeah,
These businesses need to display those 5-star reviews loud and proud.
totally. I remember when I redesigned my website
Yeah.
and I had all my testimonials hidden on this separate page.
Oh, no.
Nobody ever saw them.
Buried treasure, basically.
Exactly. But then I added a section right on the homepage, and it was like night and day.
See,
More leads, more inquiries.
it makes a difference.
Huge difference. And here's another thing. This source said 68% of consumers are willing to pay more, like 15% more, for a better experience.
Okay, that's a pretty penny.
Yeah. So what makes a better experience worth that extra cash?
To me, it's all about those reviews, right?
Yep.
They paint a picture.
Okay.
They give you that social proof.
Okay.
Because if you
Rave about a business. What are those
I'm just skipping.
ingredients of a truly exceptional experience? Think about it. And in the meantime, if you need help getting those reviews out there, check out leveragereputation.com. That's it for today's deep dive. See you next time.
Boom.
Boom. Hey, Greg. Oh my God.
Yes,
So
sir.
we could have ChatGPT generate a paragraph for us, drop it in here, and it would create this. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So to refer. So I did this source, right? So here's your sources and you can stack them. And so this talks about that. I can actually show you another one. But yes, absolutely. Whatever content. One, let's give you guys a sneak peek. This is coming out either this week or next. So somebody, and I haven't even heard this one yet, they said if you start feeling down about yourself, you should make one of these about you. So I put my stuff in here. I did 2 sources. I pasted like an about me from my website, and then I put my LinkedIn about section. And then they just talk about me and how cool I am. I haven't even heard it. But it was an exercise in stacking sources, right? So you could go and get, you know, I might point it at, one video or uh, multiple videos a uh, in a playlist. Thinking out loud here, I've got all these trainings, right? In video form, I could just take each one of those, like how to do X with AI. So did you guys catch this one? I don't know if I put this in the chat yet.
Greg, what I'd love to hear also is, I mean, because this is outstanding. I gotta tell Dustin Stout about this if he doesn't know already. I'm as interested or more interested in how to take this information and create a video with it. Because you had mentioned that earlier.
Sure.
Because I mean, that could blow up our businesses. You know, press a couple of buttons and then have an outstanding video interview.
Now
That's crazy.
I'll show you what I did with it. Now I already make these things called expert grams, and they are a short little video, and they're neat because they have like the moving waveform, right? So there's lots of kinds of videos. So these I have made. I started, so I already had the content just laying around. So I'm just repurposing content. And then now I made these into different episodes, right? So I can show you what one of these are. They're in a playlist. They're in a up here now. Not only do they have playlists, but they have podcast, right? On YouTube. So whatever you're doing, you should have, if you have content that's like podcast like. So I have a real podcast, and then this is the new one, right?
Okay, so picture this, right? You're online, about to buy, I don't know, let's say a new coffee maker. You've done your research, you're ready to click add to cart, and then you see it.
The dreaded negative review.
Exactly. And suddenly you're questioning everything. It's like, do I really need that fancy latte function anyway?
Happens to the best of us. It's human nature to look for those social cues. You know, we want to know what other
You can probably already tell there's some similarities in that little setup, right? Now that I've done, a handful of these. And so it's going to skip a little bit.
no doubt. But it really highlights just how important it is for businesses and even individuals to be mindful of their digital.
So the cool thing about this one I like is
For
this
sure.
like the bouncing
So let's break down some
waveform.
key
So
takeaways.
even though it's
The source lays out 5 essentials
mostly
for
static,
reputation management.
there's some motion.
First up, knowing what customers see when they look for you online.
presence comes into play. We're talking
And then
website,
I'm just going to
social
skip.
media.
I wanted to touch on something.
Really interesting question. We're all essentially our own personal brands these days, right? So much of our lives play out online. It's definitely something to consider.
For sure. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. But if you're looking to learn even more about managing your online reputation, our source recommends checking out leveragereputation.com. They've got a free guide you can download and even a reputation report card.
Sounds like a good place to start.
Absolutely. Until next time.
So
Ever feel like online reviews have like mystical
all right, stop. So does that make sense, Oz, on how I made
Yeah.
mine into a video?
Yeah, so it'll actually give recommendations on where to go. I mean,
So that is, yeah. So to bounce back, and I think that I'm going to go back and redo this one before I make a video. So it did that because I always have a call to action in everything, right? So I had this. So I'm probably going to put in here
Is that one of your links?
Oh yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of my challenges is I do so much, right? So I'm gonna save that so when I do it, I'll add that to it, right? And so there is a thing because then I said that in I said that in the text, and then I did that as my call to action slide, right? Because the podcast is cool, but really there's always a point. It's do all end all, right? We want to drive them someplace in the funnel where then they can we can get them, right? We can get them. We can capture their name and information, right? So they move from an unknown to a known, right? Because we gave them this lead magnet, this piece of value. Does that make sense? So that one of the big tips is not just get the cool podcast, but use it like you would strategically and tactically with anything, right? Always a call to action, right? Hook, story, offer, always a CTA. I see Ron nodding his head over there. Did I see a hand up?
I raised my hand.
Yeah, what are you thinking, Val?
I'll lower it now. The question, I made a note that you said, it was only a few hundred words, but it was about 4 minutes. So what I
Right.
was wondering is how do you, like if I wanted to keep it to say 15 minutes, how would I think about the amount of written content, for example?
Good question. Let me go back to this other tab. I don't even know how long this other one was.
Actually, I just created a 14.4 minute video, audio out of
There.
1,000 words.
How many words?
1,000
Okay, 1,000 words. And it was just right at
into
15 minutes.
14.4, 14,
Okay,
So
14.14. Yeah.
thank you.
so we're just getting a sense of what that multiplier is, right?
Yeah.
So if 300 was 4 minutes, and then he did triple that, and it went to about 15. Is that what you said, Ken?
Yeah, just under 15, 14.4.
I love this. So I bill this as get your work done in the workshop session, and you are doing it, buddy. I love it. I love it. So this one was, and I don't have a count. It basically one short paragraph, and my about section. But even this, you can already telling you a little summary. It's doing your key topics. I mean, there's just so many little nuggets of how it just soaks it in and instantly gives you, feedback and data. So that's one of the cool things that we have used AI for, like since the beginning, is so this is my landing page, right? So we're trying to get them to opt in to get the guide, right? Or you can get your reputation score. So I do this all the time. We're like macro, micro, high and low, like have the overarching thought, right? And plan. But then these are all the simple ways to dig into that. So we got the last minute. Any questions? Any thoughts? I love that you are jumping out and using it.
I like that you tied Mark 6-6.
You know what? That's funny. Can you see that?
Oh, he only had one person. Chris didn't have any. Go, Greg.
Well, it's a good one today. I don't always win. So thank you for recognizing, man.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
gold. Like I already had 5 things in who doesn't have content already? If you're doing your business, this is just a cool little way, and it's still in beta, still free. And so I think they're really going after like the perplexity side as a research tool. And so